Several months ago, I reported that Payday 2 was back in the update cycle. We just didn't know how, when, or what those updates would look like. In fact, the original statement by then brand new CEO Adolf Christiansen was seen by some as a slip of the tongue so early into his tenure, suggesting he'd misspoken and meant to say Payday 3 rather than 2. However, today we have definitive news that Payday 2 will be receiving future updates and soon. It's just that they won't be coming from the source you'd probably anticipate. Rather than Starbreeze bringing this old money printing machine back under its development wing, they're instead handing off this duty to Sidetrack Games, a small development team who started off as modders, known best for their incredible work reviving Raid World War II under the M.U.G label. They've worked alongside what remains of Ilya's team at Lion Game Lion and absolutely have what it takes to step up and take their expertise over to Payday 2. For a little more context, what they did for Raid is no less than miracle stuff, as I covered in this video released last year. A total revamp of the game's skill system turned what was an admittedly charming husk of a Payday clone, but husk nonetheless, into a game that stood on its own 2 feet, with fresh mechanics worth experiencing. I still can't get over how much fun I had with the melee build they enabled in that game. The sticking point when I discussed the possibility of Starbreeze taking up Payday 2 development again for me was always that likely unwillingness for the studio to go back to developing in the diesel engine, and with attrition and round after round of layoffs at the company leaving them without the expertise they once had in that engine, and probably few full-time employees willing to take a backward step on their CV when Unreal experience will make them much more employable in the future, this is a logical solution. The guys at Sidetrack, as I'll be referring to them as from here on in, are pretty much savants when it comes to diesel, with years of combined modding experience which crystallised over that period of more official, or at least encouraged support work on Raid. The likes of Zealotron, Rex, Leon, names you will have seen in and around the community, so despite some issues I have with Starbreeze palming this monumental task off to others, I suggest we give them our support and feedback in everything they do. They really are the modders who've come to save the game, it's just this time they have the legal backing to do so and aren't going to be sued by Nintendo, unless they touch that damn Switch edition. I kid, but I suppose that does raise a good point, which is that these coming updates will remain exclusive to PC. I know there are those of you out there still holding out hope for console updates, but I think after Payday 3's poor start to life, we can officially assume those dreams are dead and buried. I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility for them to remake or remaster Payday 2 one day, especially with this newfound Payday focus the studio seems to have discovered, but I think it's fair to suggest Payday 2 development will remain PC only from here on out. And to be honest, console lads, at least for the past couple of years, you haven't missed out on much. Updates since the infamous 237 have only destabilised the game, silently tweaking core mechanics we've relied upon for years, adding new game-breaking bugs and glitches, and crashing at the drop of a hat, or equipping of an akimbo weapon. Which brings me on to what these updates will likely contain. We're told that, at least initially, their focus will be on game stability and improving the overall player experience. I wouldn't be surprised to see a number of fixes that were previously the realm of the modding community become a standard part of the base game. Personally, I'd look to address the bloody thing crashing on any texture setting above potato when loading up heists released in the past 6 years. Or maybe just making it so akimbo guns don't crash your teammate's game. Effectively, I know these guys have their fingers on the pulse, they understand the codebase, they know what frustrates the community, and they work without all that red tape we're used to, at least they were able to do so on Raid. I truly don't believe there's a better qualified group of individuals out there to fix Payday 2's well-documented problems, and turn it back into the game we all refer to when speaking so fondly of it. I think it's a clever move by Starbreeze, freeing up their internal team for much needed Payday 3 development as promised, whilst putting boots on the ground to understand the core issues of Payday 2. Like I mentioned earlier, there is something a little bit grimy about seeing Starbreeze dig a hole within Payday 2 for the past 3 years, only to call in the hired help to fix their mess, but in all honesty, I don't think I'd trust them to do so themselves. It's the correct approach, even if it does make you feel a little bit dirty to see mistakes being mopped up by those who weren't at fault in the first place. However, as much as I am bigging up the Sidetrack crew, I do have to note, at least as far as I'm aware, it's just the 3 of them. They're exceptionally dedicated, you can see evidence of that if you just glance at Raid's recent patch notes, and I hope this contract is a lucrative one, but I appreciate they won't be able to fix Payday 2's myriad of issues overnight. They might do things you disagree with, and there will be bugs that emerge from their fixes. That's just the nature of the beast they're dealing with. Please understand that this is your opportunity to work alongside a reactive, ground-level team who will actually see and respond to feedback. Be critical and constructive, and Payday 2 will be a better game in time. I have complete faith. I genuinely think it was a brave decision for them to take, and no small task, all things considered. I know all too well that Starbreeze association at this point is like the sword of bloody Damocles. Regardless, if all goes well, I wouldn't be surprised to see more content-orientated updates start landing over the coming months. Heist might be a ways away, although that is an area I know they have expertise in, but I think if you look at how they've stewarded Raid over the last couple of years, you can probably get a half-decent idea of the sorts of things they could add to Payday 2 in time. New game mode variations, the odd weapon or throwable, and of course seasonal events. We'll see how much slack in the rope Starbreeze hands them, but don't be surprised if after fixing many of the more well-documented issues, we started to see more impactful tweaks. Oh, and with exceptionally well-communicated patch notes, might I add, when it comes to implementing those changes, so no more silent nerves suffocating the game. Obviously, there's not a lot we can glean from this announcement regarding Payday 3. It does mean one less fracture in the team, which I believe is crucial compared to when Tobias and Matt's helmed the studio, but I still have no idea when the next update is going to be released for that game. What I do know is that the first Payday 2 update delivered by these guys is nearly upon us already, Sensible holding back the announcement until they had something to show. This Thursday, we'll be getting a rundown on the patch live on stream with Elizabeth, which will then be launching officially later in the afternoon. A really rapid turnaround for what I hope will be an impactful first impression. My guess is that unpopular mechanics such as damage range multipliers might finally get the boot after years of quietly pissing people off. Will it be enough to reinstall Payday 2 again if you're a lapsed player? Maybe not at this stage, but for the tens of thousands still already playing the game on PC, I imagine it'll be a breath of fresh air. That being said, what are your hopes for Payday 2 moving forward? Would you be happy with the game almost reverting to a previous point in its storied history, simply being stable to play again, or are you hoping this will turn into fully fledged support for the 12-year-old game for years to come? Regardless, I want to hear it from you. Oh, and all this Payday 2 gameplay you've been watching is from an upcoming seasonal challenge run I'm working on. If you can work out what its theme is down in the comments, I'll chuck you early access as soon as it's done. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and check out the link at the top of the description for my range of Apex Gaming PCs if you're in the market for an upgrade. Take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. A huge thank you to my dedicated Patreon backers. If you want to join this crew in going infamous, check out the link below and pledge as little as $2 to see your name in the credits, or get 24-hour early access to future videos and vote on upcoming content. Take care, I'll see you all soon.